up next? Peter, you around? I think we have you coming up. Where you at, Peter? To the stage, maybe?
Hello.
There he is. There he is.
Yep.
All right. Dude, how you doing?
Good, thanks. How are you?
I am incredible. So I'm going to put some time on the clock, and then I'll be right back. I'm going to let you go and have at it. You ready?
Thank you. Yeah, I am. Thank you.
Excellent.
And yeah, thanks very much for having me speak today. And yeah, thanks everyone for coming to listen. Yes, my name's Pieter Luitjens. I'm the co-founder and CTO of Private AI. We're a company based primarily out of Toronto. We're, like many, I guess, we're an international team these days. Yeah, and we're focused, as you might imagine, on privacy. So for a number of years now, we've been building primarily a text data anonymization tool. So you can go out and build things like chatbots and ML applications whilst mitigating privacy concerns. Yeah, as I mentioned, we've been doing this for a number of years. We were around before ChatGPT, and yeah, that's been a very interesting development, the whole LLM space. So that's what I'm going to talk about today, just addressing just a few key points with privacy in the GDPR in LLM applications. So I guess just to begin with, just to take a bit of a step back to the beginning of this year, OpenAI, and especially ChatGPT, was in the news a lot.
Peter, one sec.
Regarding
just, I don't know if you meant to be sharing your screen, but we can't see anything.
Sorry. Yeah, that definitely helps.
Don't worry. Happens to the best of us, and I can't tell you how many times this happened to me. All right. I think we can see it now.
Well, thanks. Yeah, good. I'm just on the first slide.
I'll be back.
Thank you. Yeah, so as I was mentioning, they had their first data leak on March 21st. And then 10 days later, so end of March, ChatGPT was banned in Italy by the GDPR regulator, which I don't want to use the word unprecedented, but usually they don't move so fast and do things like that. So that was newsworthy, let's say. And yeah, although it was just banned in Italy, a number of other countries such as Canada and Germany also launched investigations. So that was the start of this year. So fast forwarding to today, a lot of these concerns have been fixed. So really what was the core of the issue was that there was no way to opt out of data collection for model training. And also there's now Azure OpenAI, which for a lot of companies ticks the boxes in terms of for data security and privacy. But whilst this being said, it's still interesting to note this is a survey from last month that a lot of companies still have hesitation around using commercial cloud LLM solutions just because, yeah, data privacy. So sharing sensitive and proprietary data is still top of the list in terms of concerns for companies doing deployments. So I guess this is where data anonymization can be a really useful tool. So by stripping out all the sensitive information, so like names, phone numbers, but also anything that counts as personal information under the GDPR, such as what religion someone might adhere to or their political beliefs, removing all of that and then sending that through to the LLM also offers a really good protection for privacy. So this is something we've built, a number of others have too. This is a pretty common pattern now, I think. So doing de-identification or anonymization on-premise, and then feeding that anonymized text to the LLM, and then in the response, repopulating all the PI. So from an end user perspective, it's a seamless experience, but the LLM never sees like the really sensitive stuff or credit card information. Whilst OpenAI does block that, at that point, it's already in their systems. So making sure that it never leaves the premises to begin with. But this all being said, for many, the improvements OpenAI has made on the privacy front and also Azure OpenAI, for a lot of people, that's good enough. But I guess the new development that's come out recently is the ability to fine-tune the OpenAI models. So GPT 3.5 Turbo has just been announced and GPT-4 will follow soon. apparently by the end of this year. And I think that's really the next question on the privacy front. And what it really all comes down to is that LLMs are very, very good at remembering training data. So this is a piece of research from 3 years ago, where researchers, based on just simple prompting techniques, just putting in some information, GPT-3 would actually complete all the personal information. Oh, sorry, this was conducted on GPT-2, but the principle still remains with the latest LLMs. So this is really the core of I think the privacy issues that we're facing today. And as an example of how this can go wrong, this happened a couple of years ago in South Korea. This dating company trained a chatbot on about 10 billion conversations. And then when they put it into production, the chatbot, without anyone doing any exploits or hacking or whatever, it just started regurgitating training data, which contained things like people's names, nicknames, and home addresses. And of course, that made its way into the news. I guess there's been a number of techniques that purport to unlearn data from an LLM that's been trained, but this is actually a piece of research which came out the last couple of weeks, which shows a lot of these techniques don't actually work even anywhere near 100% of the time. So I guess the point is that once you've trained an LLM on data, which might include personal data, once it's trained, it's very hard to get it out again. So this is particularly difficult for servicing access to information and requests for deletions under the GDPR. And yeah, again, I think this is where data anonymization and also synthetic data really comes in. I guess, in my opinion, the best way to treat this stuff is to make sure that personal information and sensitive company data is not going into the machine learning model, the LLM in this case, in the first place. So the redaction markers sometimes can affect system accuracy. So one thing that we've built, for example, is where we create synthetic replacements for all the information. And yeah, just at least for our system, a few of the key features, we've been building it for a number of years now. So yeah, it works really, really well, I would say. And based on the tests our customers do, we do over 50 different languages. We do over 50 different entity types, also covering things like PHI, so health information and credit card information. And the key thing is that it's not a cloud API, it's something you deploy into your premises so that data never gets shared with us. And just a separate call out as well, I guess bias is another big topic in LLMs at the moment. Stripping out personal information does go some way to mitigating bias as well. So things like race, religion, if someone's an immigrant, removing all of that stuff also reduces the scope for bias. And that's my talk, finishing 2 minutes early. Thank you. If you want to try it out, we have a demo on our website you can just go and play around with. It's free to sign up for the chat interface we have, and yeah, more than happy to, if you want, you can also grab an API key to play around with our system.
Excellent. Thank you.